Hey guys, what's up? As you see here in this video right now, on the left hand side is the R79X signal boosting and speed boosting iPhone case. On the right hand side is an identical iPhone, exactly the same model, that has no case on it. And so throughout this video I'm going to show you proof of why the case works, and let's get to it. Let's see what's going on with each case. Okay guys, at this point I'm zooming in so you can see more clearly the signal levels of each respective phone. The phone on the left is negative 102 decibels. The phone on the right is negative 109. So that's a 7 decibel improvement with the R79X case on the phone on the left. I think it's very important to emphasize these are the exact same phones. They're both iPhone 6S's. They are both on the Verizon Network. The only difference is one does not have a case on it, the other one does. So at this point, I'm about to switch over to the dots to show the actual signal meter and the factory representation. And you see the phone on the right has 2 dots, which is not so great, but that's what negative 109 represents. The phone over on the left, however, has 3 dots. And I switched back away from the dots there, and we're back at the dB representation because it is much more accurate. And so we have negative 102 again and negative 109 without the case. Both of these phones are iPhone 6S's again. They're 64 gigs. They're identical. I can't stress that enough. So this is an absolute fair test. I think it's the most fair test that you can actually come up with to test both of these phones. So I'm going to switch back again to the signal meters, and again you see there's 3 dots over on the phone with the case with the R79X, and the phone without the case has 2. So we're going back to the field test mode, which shows you the signal meter in decibels. And again, there's a 7 decibel difference between the phones, which 7 decibels is actually huge. I'll speak more about that. You see the left phone actually went to negative 104 there, but that's still a 5 decibel improvement. With the R79X case, it has an extendable antenna should you need to increase the signal even more. And I'm actually getting the phone ready to extend that piece. It's a very easy thing to do. You're about to see it right now. I'm going to extend the antenna because I'm about to run speed tests, a bunch of speed tests for each phone. And the most impressive results are from these actual speed tests. And that's really what sold me on this. I mean, the decibels, it really shocked me, but to actually see results and speed test results is really phenomenal. So let's get straight to the speed test results and just see what happens between the 2 phones. The one on the left, again, has the Reach R79X case. The one on the right does not have any case on it whatsoever. They're identical phones. So let's go ahead and start the speed test. I am tapping both of them. You guys should be familiar with this speed test. It's the Ookla speed test. So let's see what the numbers come out to be on these. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the speed test for the phone without the signal boosting case on the right. So here we go. Let's push that test, and we're using the Ookla, however you say it, speed test. And let's see what the results of that are. Again, as you can tell, it's on LTE and not Wi-Fi. So we're testing ping now, and it should build up, build up, build up. All right, we're in the 60s, 70s, 80s, right there at about 89 if you round up. And then the upload's going now, and looks like it's gonna be right at 10, 9 points something. So let's just round straight up to 10. It actually hit 10 there. Okay, so we're gonna say 89 and 10 for the phone on the right without the case. Now let's go ahead and go over to the phone on the left, R79X case, exact same phones, and see if there are any differences. This is as fair as it gets. You know, same speed test, same network, LTE. So phone on the left, pulling out the ping, which is a little worse actually. Okay, we're in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. We broke 100, so 102.05, so 102. So that beat that by a solid 14 megabits. And then the upload speed is what I noticed the most. It does improve the download, but the upload is roughly twice as fast. Look at that. We're sitting there right at 19 megabits upload versus 10. And that's just with a passive case, the R79X case. I mean, that's proof to me. I mean, if you stopped right now, that would be all I would need to know that it worked, at least for some people. So I'm going to continue to do more speed tests because one test is not enough. So let's continue and do more speed tests and see what happens. See if it consistently is better on the upload and perhaps even consistently better on the download. Okay, so this time I'm going to go ahead and start the test on the phone with the R79X signal and speed boosting case first. In the last test we started with the phone without the case. This time let's go ahead and start the test with the phone with the case. Shouldn't make a difference, but you know, just try it every way we can. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and start the test on the R79X case. And there we are at 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 80s, 90s, 108, 9, 10. So 111.21 on the download. So basically 111. And the upload is solid 20 again. It's actually a bit better on both download and upload. We're at 21, solid 21, 21.42 is what we got with the R79X case. So obviously I'm going to go back over to the case, I'm sorry, keep calling it case, to the exact phone, but with no case on it whatsoever, and see what speeds it brings there. So here we go. Testing ping as normal. And download, we got 40 millisecond ping, downloads 40s, 50s, 60s, 80s, 3, 4, 84.44. So we're 30 plus better on that one. And then upload is doing better, but it's still half basically. It's 11.91 versus 21.42. So it's 111 versus 84 and 21 versus 12 basically. That's the difference between phone with the R79X and the exact same phone without a case on it whatsoever. Okay, so at this point we've already run 2 tests on each phone, and it's the R79X is beating it quite a bit on both. Right now I'm pulling up prior test results from this same night, and every single one of them, as you can see, there's the date and the time by each one of these phones. They're run within 1 minute apart of each other. The top 2 results on these tests are the last 2 speed tests that we did, which respectively is with the R79X case, we had 111 down, without a case 84, and then we had for the first test there we had 102 on the R79 phone with the R79X case, and we had 88.77 on the phone without. And you can read, so I mean you can go along and read here. As you see, it's basically double on the upload. On the download we're getting anywhere from 20 to 30 something better. If you continue to go down, the last 2 results on this page are from obviously 2 hours earlier. This is when I first put the case on, and I was running these tests at the same time, or at least one of them I believe it was, yeah, the third one there, the one that says on to the left 84.83, and then on the right it says 71.32 for the download. That's when I ran both of the tests at the exact same time. And when you run them at the same time, it's not gonna have quite as high of a number, because it's using more of the bandwidth of the network and blah blah blah. But it still represents the case well, because you see we got 84 versus 71 on the download, and we still got 6 megabits on the upload versus 2.37 megabits on the phone without the signal in obvious speed boosting case. And then the next test was run one at a time. As you see there, it's 101 megabits with the R79X case download versus 85 megabits download without the R79X case. And then I can hardly read it because of the glare. I just saw a glance. It was 18.57 on the case, and I just lost it. Sorry. But you see, basically, the point is the speeds are being, it's killing on the speeds. For good measure, I'm going to go ahead and run one more test. So we're starting with the R79X case on the iPhone 6s. And let's see here. Let's see if it consistently outperforms it. If I remember correctly, this test is not as impressive on the download, but it remains equally as impressive on the upload. So we got 96.26 download, and we're looking at roughly 22 here on the upload, 22 megabits per second, which is incredibly fast. I was really impressed with these speeds to begin with. And let's go ahead and do it on the phone without the R79X case, phone without a case at all. And download. If I remember, this one pushes close but doesn't quite make it. So we're in the 80s and 90s. So yeah, 91.72 to 96.26. So we're about a 5 megabit still improvement on the download. And then upload, as with every test, it's hung tough at 10 on the iPhone 6s without a case, and it's in around 20 megabits, double for the iPhone 6 with the R79X case. And that's all the tests that I run. I will show in a minute the results again, so you can take a look at each result side by side. But every single test back to back. And the parts on this that you see fast forwarded is only because I wanted people to not think I messed with the results or I was cutting and pasting video or anything like that. It's the only reason that I did that. I was trying to keep this as fair as possible because this does actually work. But as you saw, if you watched throughout this, every single test, the phone with the R79X beat both in download and in upload. And I'll say this, the download sometimes, as that last test, wasn't really much of a difference, but the upload was twice. I mean, 2x upload speed that's awesome. And to me, for what I do often, is I need more upload speed. That upload speed, both of those actually are better than my broadband. And here you see I bring up all of the results that I've run that night that I put the case on and took this video. And you just go down the list. I'm not going to read all of these off, but you see every single test. It starts from the bottom to the top, I believe. Yeah, you see May 25th, it was right. It was 11:50 p.m. and then all the way up to 2:30 something a.m. You see every single test beat the opposing test, and only one of those tests I ran at the same time, which the numbers were lower, but still it showed that the case was different. You see here, I switch them back to the signal bars or the signal circles. The R79X phone with that case has 3. And the signal is 2 on the identical iPhone without the R79X case. So I mean, that's conclusive. Conclusive to me is in my environment where I am with my signal with 2 identical phones. I can't stress that enough. 2, there's everything about these phones except for the color is 100% identical, exact same age, ordered the same day. 64 gigabyte iPhone 6s is on the Verizon Network. We're running it on 4G LTE, and the ReachCase. You can go to ReachCase.com if you're interested in learning more about the case. And every single one of these tests, it won. It improved it basically, and the signal is better consistently throughout this video. As you can see, we have 3 bars compared to 2 here. I'm switching back to the dB mode, which we have -102. The lower the number, as in the like -50 would be better than -70. Okay, so the lower the better. So -102 to -109, that's still a 7 dB improvement, which is, if you know anything about decibels, they're non-linear. So a 3 dB difference is roughly, if I may be wrong about these numbers, but I think a 3 dB difference is roughly twice as good of a signal. I know that sounds nuts, but it is. I have a little bit here that I can read you now that all the testing is done. So from R79 or Reach 79, which is also referred to as Antenna 79, and the video will just be showing whatever. It says from them, it says the strength of the signal from the phone to the cell tower was determined by sampling the radiated transmit power of the device every 15 degrees in a sphere around the device. The measured power values are integrated to give a single figure of merit referred to as TRP, which is total radiated power. The ability of the phone to receive signals from the cell tower was also determined by measuring the power received at the phone from the antenna positioned every 15 degrees in a sphere around the device. The integrated measurements provide a metric known as TIS, which stands for Total Isotropic Sensitivity. Lower TIS means the device can detect weaker signals. Okay, now that's the Reach 79's pretty much summary of their independent testing they did. That's what they're talking about there. They did their own testing to get the following results. They say that they saw a maximum improvement of 3 times stronger signal strength on the iPhone 6, which is the phone you're seeing now. That's a 6S, but it's a 6. With an average improvement of 1.6 times, so basically 1.5, and a maximum improvement of 4.9 times on the iPhone 6 Plus, with an average improvement of 2 times on the iPhone 6 Plus. And the reason the iPhone 6 Plus has better results is because it's a larger phone. And that leads into this. How does it work? Well, I don't really know exactly how it works. You know, they haven't really released the exact specs, but they have all the patents out that you could go and look up all the patents and look at the designs. But the way it works is they say that basically what's inside is another antenna, okay, made out of a gold type of material. All right, and it uses what they call passive coupling technology. I know that sounds like some kind of, you know, whatever word, but you just saw the results. It actually works, at least for some people. And that's the bottom line. I mean, it's the first case I've ever come across that's not powered. It's very important to understand this is not a powered case. This is not one you've got to set up a separate antenna outside and you've got you know, a power cord going to it, and it's an actual signal boosting case. Those types of cases, I forgot what they're called, but I think you know what I mean. I mean those are actual cell boosters. This is a passive. It's just a regular iPhone case. No one would know anything different about the case, that it wasn't that the case did anything for the phone, except for if you pulled that bottom part out that I showed earlier in the video, that is supposedly even maximizes your signal benefits and your speed benefits even more. Personally, with my own usage, I didn't notice any difference when I pulled that bottom section out, but I would imagine in some scenarios you will see a difference. Now, let me just talk lastly on this about who it will work for, who it won't work for, and who it will kind of work for. I'll say this: it obviously works for some people. It works for me, and for some people, it's not going to help you, or it's not going to help you to where you can really notice it. Okay, and then some people, it's just going to help a tiny fraction of a bit, which is pretty much like I just said. And then I'm sure there are some people that are going to get this case and think they can be in an area that has no signal whatsoever, put this case on and get a signal. That's not the situation. That's not how it works. If you cannot get a signal, you're not going to be able to get a signal. It doesn't matter what you do. Now, if you know anything about decibels, and you'll see that negative 102 is not a great signal. It's 3 bars on this phone, and I would have a negative 109 if I didn't have the case on the left phone. Okay, so uh, I'm in a if you're in a similar situation to where you have 2 bars on average, maybe even 1 bar, this case will probably help you. Okay, obviously I guarantee it, but it will probably help you. Now that's in a location that has about a 1 to 2 bar. You have a signal, but it's just kind of a weaker signal, but it still works. You're just getting slower speeds, but you're still getting calls and so on. It will, in those scenarios, help reduce drop calls. It will obviously, as you saw there, improve speed quite dramatically. And the less your phone has to try to fight to get a signal, it's the best way I can put it, the better it is on your battery life. And so that's why the case manufacturer claims that it improves battery life. So that pretty much sums up the case. If you have any questions about it, please comment. I'd love to hear a I'd love to read a discussion about this. I'll answer any questions I can. I bought this one at Best Buy because this is about a $49 to $59 case, but Best Buy is selling them right now for $29, brand new. So I bought the case for $29, and it's obviously worth it for me in my situation. Now obviously when you're driving around in your different locations, your signal is going to constantly change. It may be 2 bars. I'm just going to say bars at this point. It may be 1 or 2 bars at home, and 10 miles down the road, you may have 4 or even 5 bars, a perfect signal, basically. So at this point, I'm just kind of showing you that these are indeed two phones, and the one on the right does not have a case, showing you the back of it. They're both iPhone 6S's. And just kind of zooming in, just kind of proving the fact that they're the same phones. There was no trickery going on there. I just have them both on a cloth. It's just the back of a shirt, and that's it. If you have any questions, I'm sure I've left something out of this. Again, leave them in the comments. Hope this helps you. And I know some of you already have this case, and it doesn't work for you, or you don't get the results I have. Maybe you get better results, etc., etc. I'd love to hear about it. Let me know. So everybody else who looks at this video and is wondering about it can benefit from your own experience with the case. So take care and be well.